Can you believe it? It still works. Dad was gesturing excitedly to his big find of the occasion. A camera. The vintage kind you could only find at an antique shop because nobody in their right mind would want one in 2025. How can you even tell, Dave? Oh, I can tell, Sugar. I know you guys think I don't know things, but I do, and I know this one in this condition definitely works. The Shuttercocks. What does it even mean? I couldn't take it anymore. I was sick of the flea market. I didn't even really get why anyone would go to one in the first place. I mean, we have the internet.
I don't think he even knows what it means. He probably just asked ChatGPT.
Van rolled her eyes, glancing up from her phone for just a moment to do so before returning her attention intensely to it. Dad crossed his arms defiantly. I didn't.
Oh God, he definitely did.
Look, I'm just saying, look how cool it is. We can get real family pictures done, real old school style photos. Dad was always going on about that old school style, when not the 90s throwback kind that some kids still liked. Oh, come on, Dave. What does that thing even cost? Not much. Dad looked at the tag and couldn't conceal that it did, in fact, cost too much. Well, look, okay, you remember how I said for my birthday I didn't need anything except the love of my family, right? Yeah? Well... Yo, come on, Dave. Look, it's not like the love is flowing in abundance from these two anyway. Ugh, you're so dramatic. The decision had been made. Dad was getting the camera. The old lady sitting at the folding table that had been repurposed into a counter looked at it quietly when he set it down in front of her. She gave him a solemn look before scanning the rest of us with her eyes and seemed as if she was thinking about something for a moment before she pulled out a tiny calculator. Cool, right? Can't believe you're getting rid of it. She didn't respond. She rattled off some numbers into the calculator before holding it out in front of him. $245.99. Weird lady, huh? He said to us as we left, the market growing dark as brother sun gave way to sister moon. We got home around 8:30 after stopping for Whataburger. My friend Danny says Whataburger blows, but I don't know. I think it's good. As we stepped into the entrance hall, I slurped my milkshake greedily, washing down the little fry bits that were stuck between my teeth.
Frankie's gonna stop by soon. That's still cool, right?
My heart skipped a beat. Frankie was my sister's best friend. She was a junior like Van, but more importantly, she was super hot. I'd had a crush on her since I was old enough to have crushes. We're gonna get married. Eventually. Oh, yeah, of course, that's fine, love. Right, Dave? Huh? What? Yeah, that's fine. Dad hadn't looked up from the camera since we left. He even made Mom drive.
I can't believe you made Mom drive.
I can't either. Mom rolled her eyes in exactly the same way that Van had earlier. Genetics scared me sometimes. I think I'm gonna turn the garage into a dark room. You know how to do that? I mean, I'm just gonna chat GPT it. Me and Mom groaned collectively. ChatGPT was my dad's new best friend. He was practically talking to it all day, every day. Wait, but I was gonna do my science project in the garage. Well, it's a group project, right? Yeah, I'm with Danny. Well, do it in his garage. Dave. I wasn't allowed to hang out at Danny's house anymore. Not ever since his dad got arrested for soliciting a prostitute and then trying to buy cocaine in a Denny's parking lot. Apparently, CPS made a big stink about it, but since his mom isn't around anymore, they weren't going to take him away from his only living parent. I mean, it's not like the guy has a real problem. He works a steady job. Probably just lonely. I felt kind of bad for the guy. He was always super cool to Danny. Way cooler than my dad. Maybe that was part of the problem. Oh, right. Dad blinked a couple times, churning through dialogue options in his head. Well, then I'll do it in the shed. What about my gardening supplies? I mean, you don't have much in there to begin with. I'll just move them to the attic. Mom gave him a look that would melt steel beams. You're right. I'll just do it in the attic? He sounded the last part out slowly as Mom nodded along with him while he finished. Once he had, they both did a little faux smile to each other with an accompanying nod. It was the kind of cheesy, cutesy crap that spent my entire 15 years tormenting me with, but They were all right. As far as parents go, anyway. A knock sounded from the front door and my body jolted alert. Frankie was here. I had to look cool. I posted up on the hallway wall by the entrance to the living room waiting for my chance. Van practically flew down the stairs to beat us to the door.
Hey, girl.
Hi, Frankie. My face flashed red as I realized what I'd done. Frankie and Van both looked at me sideways and then back to themselves, giggling as they ran up the stairs and disappeared. Mom gave me one of those looks that always made me feel like I was a clothes hanger hung with a too heavy jacket, and Dad gave me one of those looks that said, "It's tough now, son, but it gets better." The only thing that could make it worse is if he actually said that. He leaned over and patted me on the shoulder. "It's tough now, son, but it gets better." He opened his mouth to add something else, but then looked at my mom instead. "I'm gonna go get started in the dark room." He beelined up the stairs and also disappeared out of sight. I hate being 15. I'm home. It was Tuesday afternoon. School had been boring, as usual, but at least Danny was coming over to work on the project. We were turning a rock into a low-voltage battery. When we told Dad as much, he scoffed. "You can't do that."
Yeah, we can. You just need some copper, some wires, and an electrolyte solution. It won't do much, but it'll be enough for an LED.
Danny's confidence was convincing enough as my dad raised an eyebrow and looked down, feigning inquisitiveness as if he wanted us to think that he was thinking about it for himself, but he definitely wasn't. "Huh. You're pretty smart for a, you're pretty smart. I've got some work to finish. Good luck." Dad again beelined for the stairs and disappeared out of sight. We were definitely related. Danny looked at me puzzled.
Thought your dad's office was over there.
He pointed across the living room to the door on the opposite side. "He's been working in this dark room for this stupid camera he bought at the flea market we had to go to this weekend. Mom's making him do it in the attic and he's gotten super into it. I think she thought he'd give up, but he's redoing the piping or something. I don't know, Mom's kind of pissed, but can't tell him to stop doing it because he's always complaining about how he crushes dreams."
Huh. Where's your mom?
She took Van to some concert with Frankie.
Dude, Frankie. Is she coming by?
Bro, you know she's spoken for.
Yeah, all right. You want to get started?
Maybe. Marvel Rivals first?
That's what I was hoping you would say.
Abruptly, it was dark. The door opened and Mom came through with Van in tow. We were still on Marvel Rivals, playing with our feet propped up on the coffee table. We were like 2 wins off of Diamond, and no work had been done for the project. "Hey, Mom."
Hey, Mrs. V.
"Hey, how long have you guys been on that?
Didn't you have a project to do?"
"We're done."
"Then are you done?" "No."
"Dude, get to work now. I don't want to hear one more Eye of Hashitoto until that thing's done. Go, get." "Where's your dad?" "I don't know. I think he's still upstairs. Haven't seen him."
"Haven't seen him, Mrs. V. Hi, Van."
Van ignored Danny's hello and disappeared up the stairs.
"Your sister's a dick."
"Hey, language? And yeah, she's 16. All 16-year-olds are dicks." Suddenly, Dad emerged from behind the banister, sweaty and red with exertion. "Hey, hon, how was the show?" "It was fine. They had fun anyway." "How was your project?" "Great, I'm almost done. I think I'll get to use it tomorrow. You want to see it?" "Oh, I think I'm good. I need to take a nap. We'll go to bed. What did you feed the boys for dinner?"
He didn't.
"Dave! Danny!" The day of the project came and went. Our rock light show went over pretty well, mostly thanks to Danny. With any luck, he'd carry me all the way to college with him. And then, hopefully through it. And against all odds, Dad's darkroom was a success. At least so he claimed as he gave us the tour. It's a bit creepy, isn't it? The red light fixture washed the attic in an unfamiliar glow that was, to Mom's credit, pretty creepy. Why did it have to be red? The camera sat on the little table next to some kind of device I didn't recognize, and an assembly line of trays and bottles that lined up to the spigot he jammed in the wall.
It's like a dungeon.
Dungeons are in the basement, genius. Hey, be nice to your sister.
Yeah, be nice to me, Daniel.
Well, I mean, do you guys want to see my first one? It took me forever to get it done right. Something with the chemicals kept being off. I mean, I think I inhaled some of them. But, no, really, you want to see it? Okay, dear. Wow me. Dad bent to rummage around in a little storage area he had by the spigot and came back up with a piece of paper in his hand. He held it out for us to see. It was a photo of Dad. A selfie. A dark red selfie. He sat on the stool, his square head stuck awkwardly in a pose that left his jowls looking exceptionally pronounced as he attempted to smile. He'd never been good at smiling for pictures. Me neither. It's dark red, hon. Well, I mean, yeah. I took it in here and the light's red. Oh, okay. It's nice. You hate it? No, it's a bit scary.
Yeah, Dad, that's like fucked up.
Vanessa! No, I agree with her. That's a pretty scary picture, Dad. Oh. Well, I'll take another one tomorrow, you know. The next one will end up better. I felt bad. We'd clearly taken the wind out of his sails a little bit. You know what? I'm proud of you, Dave. You didn't know how to do the thing, and now you do, and that thing over there, she gestured to the camera, might just get some use after all. We could use it on our vow renewals.
Get a room, cross.
Okay, kids, out. Go do your homework. I'm gonna go finish dinner. I woke up in the middle of the night. Mom had made cheese bread, which was like garlic bread, just with cheese on it. Even though I was lactose intolerant, I could never help myself from indulging, and my stomach was not happy about it. I stumbled to the toilet adjacent my bedroom as I doubled over in pain. After the trauma was wrought, I collapsed back in bed, flat on my back, staring up at the dark ceiling. The dark ceiling with a single red square on it. I squinted against the darkness and it took shape. It was the photo. It was Dad. Almost smiling. I jumped to my feet upright on the bed and reached to retrieve it as my heart skipped a beat. Somebody had taped it to the ceiling. I pulled it down to examine it. Dad's eyes stared at me uncomfortably. Van thought she was so funny. I turned the picture over on the nightstand and struggled my way back to sleep. Nice one, asshole. Hey, language! Vanessa put your stupid picture on my ceiling trying to scare me. It didn't work. I slammed it down on the kitchen table to display the evidence. My family all looked at it curiously. Van, you took my picture? And you stuck it on his ceiling?
No, I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Oh yeah, come on. It's not like anyone else would do it. Yeah, Van, come on, this is rude. Taking something I worked hard on without permission and trying to scare your brother with it. Are these tape marks?
I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. You'll be in bigger trouble for lying, young lady. No, it's him. He's trying to make shit up and get me in trouble.
Yeah, nice one. Maybe think up a better plan next time. It didn't even scare me. It was just weird. Grounded. 3 days.
Mom?
Vanessa caught a dangerous look from my dad. It was rare to see him mad, even just bordering on it. Vanessa fell silent. She shot me a look that could liquefy marble.
Danny, do you want to stay for dinner tonight? No thanks, Mrs. V. Dad said we got to go to China Palace tonight.
Mom wrinkled her nose.
Okay, well, you know, if you ever want a home-cooked meal, you're welcome to stay. Thanks, Mrs. V. I know.
Dad emerged from the stairs. He'd been in the dark room again. He was constantly running around now, just taking pictures of things. Any great masterpieces for us, dear? Dad shook his head curtly. Mom thought better about asking more questions. Dinner was uneventful. Meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Van always complained about my mom's meatloaf, but I liked it. We should put ketchup on more meats. She ate it anyway, so couldn't be that bad. I spent the evening loafing around watching compilations of people getting tased and eventually moved to settle for bed. As I brushed my teeth, I scrubbed diligently, making sure to get every last crumb cleaned out of every last crevice. I'd not had a cavity yet, and I didn't plan to end up with one. Not after the one the Van had. She'd cried like such a baby, I swore she could never hold it over me that I did the same thing. I spit the toothpaste out and flicked the light switch off, leaving my room in darkness as I turned away from the mirror. Darkness, except for one red square. It wasn't where it'd been the last time. It was above my dresser, exactly at eye level with me. I froze. It hadn't been there when I'd come in the room. Had it? I inched towards it slowly, saliva pooling in the back of my throat, mingling with remnant toothpaste as I tried to control my nervousness. As I got closer, I realized it wasn't the same picture. It was Dad in the same position as before, but this time Mom was in it. She sat on his lap, arms draped around his shoulders, smiling awkwardly into the camera. Unlike Dad, the smile didn't look right on her. It was unfamiliar. Like she was forcing herself to do it and didn't know how. I almost yelled for Mom and Dad, but thought better of it. I didn't want Van to win and think she was actually getting to me. It was a good while before I fell asleep. The next morning, I entered the kitchen, my eyes sunken in my head as I held the photo aloft. What is this? My mom turned back from the bowl of honey bunches of oats she was pouring for herself and looked at it, puzzled. Oh, your father and I must have taken that one the other day. It's funny, I don't remember. But why was it in my room?
Mom, I swear he's lying.
Vanessa, for the love of God, child, stop trying to scare your brother. It's clearly working. No, I'm not scared. It's weird. It's weird and it's not funny.
Mom, it wasn't me. I'm not doing it. I don't know. Maybe Dad's playing some kind of joke.
I'm gonna have to talk to your father about this one, Van. I'm really unhappy with you. Speaking of your father, have you seen him? He wasn't in his office this morning. I thought maybe he went in person, but I didn't have a message about it and the car's still here.
Wait, Dad's missing?
Well, no, dear. He must have just forgotten to text me where he went. You checked the dark room? It was the first place I looked. We've got to get you two to school anyway, so bus will be here any minute. I'm sure he'll be back soon. My mother chewed her thumb nervously. So did I. Later that day, when our bus pulled back into the cul-de-sac of our driveway, there was a car I didn't recognize parked in front of my dad's. As me and Van stepped over the threshold, it was clear that something was wrong. All the lights were on. Mom sat on the couch in the living room with two men I didn't recognize standing. One wore a coat with pleated trousers and the other one jeans and a button-up. The one in the coat had an orange mustache he was fingering quizzically. Hey kids, your dad never came back. This is Officer Donaldson and Officer Mack. They're collecting information about the disappearance.
Dad's gone?
Her fear was palpable as my neck hair stood on end. Dad was missing. I mean, he liked jokes, but this would be a little far, even for him. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. How do I know you guys are actually cops? The mustached man glanced at the one in jeans, confused, and the one in jeans lifted an eyebrow before pulling out a badge. We know this is a tough spot, son, but hey, your dad'll turn up. How do I know that's a real badge?
Yeah, how do we know that's a real badge?
It's not a joke, kids. Your dad's missing. Tears welled in her eyes as my heart broke slightly. It wasn't a joke. Me and Van both hugged her as she pulled us in to her. The detectives just looked around uncomfortably. Tell you what, ma'am, you keep an eye out. We're gonna put some patrolmen on it, and, we'll be in touch. As they motioned to leave, the button-upped one tapped me on the shoulder. It'll be all right, kid. They left, and like that, we were alone. We ate dinner in silence. We watched TV in silence. Fear piercing too deep for us to make any attempts at conversation. For all the crap we gave him, Dad was Dad. I brushed my teeth, and I went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, the first thing I saw was a red square. It was taped on the wall, the exact wall I fell asleep staring at. I flung myself out of bed, feet thumping on the carpet as I ran to it. It was the same picture, the exact same picture. It had to be, even the tape marks were the same. But now, Van was in it. She stood behind my parents, her hands on their shoulders, with that same damn smile awkwardly pasted in the middle of her face. It looked nothing like her smile. She spent so much time recording TikToks with her annoying friends that I knew exactly what she looked like smiling for a camera, and this wasn't it. I careened around the corner to the living room. Vanessa was standing in the kitchen, alone. She's not here. What? She's not here. I looked. What? No, why didn't you wake me up? What the hell is going on? Where are they? What is this? I thrust the picture into her face. She looked down at it, and then up at me. I don't know. Did you take this? Did you put this in my room? What are you guys up to? What are you guys doing? No. I mean, I might have. I don't know. I smacked her. If this is some fucked up prank you're all playing on me, it's worked, okay? It's fucking worked. I'm scared. Look at me, I'm scared. Are you happy? She didn't yell. She didn't say anything. She just held her face with her hand and started to cry. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. My anger and confusion were suddenly overridden by an innate sense of brotherly duty. I hugged her. I don't know either, Van, but we're gonna figure it out, okay? We're gonna call someone, okay? I'm gonna call the cops, okay? Her body heaved as tears splashed against the kitchen tile. I pulled my phone out and dialed 911, walking back to the living room.
911, what's your emergency?
Hey, my dad went missing yesterday, and now my mom's gone missing.
Can I get some details about that?
Yeah, I talked to Officer Mack and Officer Donaldson yesterday. They came to see us. We're at 1195 Leaner Avenue, and it was because our dad hadn't been seen that day, and now today me and my sister woke up, and now our mom's gone too.
Okay. We'll have somebody with you shortly. Are you two safe right now?
Yeah, I mean... Wait, do you think somebody could be... The sudden thought struck home as worry blistered through me furiously. I couldn't see Van. I dropped the phone and it bounced, clattering off the table.
Sir, hello. Sir.
Van! I ran to the sliding glass door leading to the backyard and pulled it open. Van! The sound of a lawnmower was the only answer back. I sprinted to her room, up the stairs. Van, are you? Nobody. I ran to my parents' room down the hall from hers. Nobody. I ran to every room in the house, except one. The dark room. I pushed open the hatch to the attic and inched up the ladder slowly, cautiously, the red beaming down from the opening, staining my arms with its tint as I pulled myself up. When my head pushed through to the other side, I saw a string of pictures hung from a clothesline in the middle of the room. I ran to inspect them. The first ones were nothing strange. My dad's other work, a plant, the mailbox, a beer, but then, down the line, there they were. The first one, the one of my dad. The second one, of my mom with him. The third one, with Van. And then finally there was one more. Last in the line. It was me. From the back. In the dark room. Exactly where I was standing right now. And sitting beside me on the ground, the camera. I looked away to my right. Sure enough, there it was. I bent to pick it up, its clunky machinery awkward in my hands as I hefted it. Stand over there. The voice motioned to the stool. The stool. I looked at it confused. There it was. Exactly like it was supposed to be. I moved behind it, slightly to the left of where my sister had stood in the photo before. Give me the camera. I gave it to him. Now smile.